Okay, this is my new video about TNA, as you can see. I don't really like doing videos on TNA. Oh, and I hope you notice my soundtrack. If you can hear it, I'm just playing it on things just because, it helps me think. Yeah. TNA has done it again, and they've made this mistake like 2 times already this year, and that's getting some NFL fucking football player in like their entire like it's going to do something for business. Like their entire fan base is from fucking Nashville. Though I wouldn't be surprised if it is, seeing how much money they make. It's such a stupid decision to make, to keep bringing in these football players. I mean, what does it do? I mean, most people in the... here's the thing. I'm talking with people in the United States. People who just watch NFL casually. They're not big fans, but I mean, they do watch it. And, they don't have a fucking clue who these people are. And it's the same. And if people in America have trouble knowing who these people are, then people in other countries aren't going to know who they are. Like, TNA's got a pretty good fan base in the UK, and so you'd think they want to appeal to them too and get someone who's actually a star, not just a fucking pseudo celebrity sporting guy. Here's the thing, and this is something that a lot of TNA fans in the United States don't get, that a wrestling company doesn't just make its money from the United States. It makes a lot of money. I mean, probably anywhere between a third and half of the money from international things. Hell, maybe even more. Because I mean, here in Australia, WWE makes a lot of money from house shows, merchandise. I mean, a lot of merchandise, DVD sales, and I'm sure it's the same in a lot of other countries, like in Europe, in the UK. They're trying to get it going in Japan, Canada, and that's what TNA's not capitalizing on. They need to have an international presence, because when you get an international presence, you start to make money. It's like that's why that's what helped the WWE survive when WCW became #1 company in the United States. Is WCW wasn't doing as well in other countries like in Europe and then things like that. So they went there and they did lots of shows there because they knew they could still make money there. And TNA's not capitalizing on this potential fan base. I mean, it's not like Europe's just a couple people. Like, there are a lot of fans, as you can see when they do shows in like the UK and stuff, and there's just as many fans. And these fans in Europe and here in Australia, they're willing to pay more to see the WWE because we don't have it here. We don't have big wrestling companies here. The biggest company here in Australia would get like 500 people for a big show. And WWE comes in and just makes fucking 2 million, like right off the bat for 3 shows. Like, that's profit. 2 million, maybe even more. And TNA's not capitalizing on this. They're just focusing on the United States. And sure, you can do that to an extent. But I mean, Ring of Honor's doing it, and they're still in indie. They're going over to Japan, they're going over to the UK, and they're making money off those fan bases. You can't just focus in the one country and the one area and think that you're going to beat the #1 promotion in the United States, and which happens to be the biggest promotion in the world. And that's what a lot of Japanese promotions like as well. They stay in Japan in a small group. I mean, but the Japanese also want to do show. There's Japanese promotions are talking about doing shows in places like China and South Korea. I think they did a show last year, maybe 2005. But there was a big show held in China and it had a really good turnout. I mean, and they don't even know what wrestling is. Done by Japan, because they were trying to branch out. Noah, they're sending the younger guys like Kenta, Marufuji, Morishima, Muhammad Joan, other guys like that. They're sending them into Ring of Honor and sending them into the United States, and Mistral is coming over because it raises sales in the DVD sales in the United States and brings in an extra lot of money because there's another fan base in another place. And what TNA needs to do is stop thinking so locally and so, stop thinking about just appealing to the southern type of Tennessee fans, because they don't even do shows there anymore. They're still in Florida and shit. They really should be doing, if they're going to bring in celebrities, don't get them involved in wrestling. Just keep them the fuck up. Get them to do backstage skits, or get them involved in an angle where they're going to be the ref, but even that's pushing it. But don't get them involved in matches and shit like they've done. They did it with 2 guys this year already, and it doesn't do anything. It's just a waste of money. Stop appealing to such a small fan base and start spreading the fuck out. If TNA tried to do TNA should be doing shows in the UK. They should be doing like Impact tapings in the UK, because it would do a lot. It would bring in ratings and they'd sell tickets in the UK, not do free shows for Impact or something like that. They should also, as I said, they should stop trying to appeal to this small fan base and try to branch out. If you're going to get celebrities, get someone who's getting in a movie, like WWE does when a movie's coming out. Well, they don't do it anymore, but they did. They'd have the actors show up or whatever. I hate that kind of crap, but if you're going to do something like that and try to get celebrities in, bring someone worth it. Bring somebody who has a name. And don't pay them like ridiculous amounts of money like you did Pac-Man Jones, because and try not to get them involved too heavily, because it just makes you look like idiots. As I was saying, they need to start appealing to fans around the world. And that's what Ring of Honor's doing, and that's what WWE does. Ring of Honor's trying to get fans in Japan. They're trying to get fans in the UK. They're trying to get fans in Europe. And that's what you do when you're a wrestling company. You try to expand your territory, because that way, instead of having, just for let's say they only do shows in 4 states, just wrestling company X or whatever. Just use your imagination. Let's say I start a wrestling company. What's the point of me just doing these shows? If I want to make it expand, you do shows locally and you try to appeal to the local people, but after a while, if you want to expand, you have to start going to other places. You have to stop doing these things like getting local football stars and crap like that, because it doesn't appeal to foreign fans. Look, the UK is 50 million people. The United States is 300 million. Canada's 30 million. The reason why Impact's not even here in Australia is because the last time we had Impact, or not Impact, they're fucking 2-hour pay-per-views, which were getting played at like 7:30 in the goddamn morning, is because they were throwing it away on fucking football guys and country music stars and shit like that. And so people didn't know who these people were, so it got fucking axed. And then people didn't buy the pay-per-views because they knew that, because the last thing they saw was a country music guy on it. Or they need to stop doing these things which bring in the, to appeal to the local country bumpkins and really branch out. What I recommend TNA does is not bring fucking stars in at all. And another thing they should stop doing, and I'm running out of time, is stop trying to fucking fool the fans by saying, it's going to be a former world champion or whatever, or he's been a champion. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing the surprise crap, and just say, I'm going to have a special. Sure it works, but they're doing it all the time. And what happens every time they do it? They bring in fucking Jeff Jarrett, or it's always a disappointment. Don't do it unless you really are going to bring in something big. That's a clue. And just focus on your wrestling, focus on the product, and don't try to appeal to all these other people. Anyway, I'm done. I'll see you later.